Hello, I'm live again. Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Daddy and My Daddy. My name is LJ Young, and I am a 100% debt-free motivational speaker and personal finance educator. What that means is I don't owe anybody on earth one dime. No entity, no bank, no car note, no credit cards, nothing. The ultimate freedom, the ultimate true financial freedom. True financial freedom is owning the time in your life. It's not money, it's owning the time in your life. And if you own the majority, if not all, the time in your life, you're free to do and create anything you want. What I do is help people become financially free, feel this experience that I'm feeling. Help them become financially free by helping them people financially see. Because you can't see. When you're trapped in the debt matrix, you can't see. You're blinded. You're blinded by all the stuff going on. You can't even see it. It's right in your face, and it's only fifth grade math, but yet you can't see it because you're in debt. And you live in what I call the debt matrix. The debt matrix is a place where everybody lives that believes in credit and debt and believe they can't do anything without it. They're nobody, and if they don't have a high credit score, they're the low man on the totem pole or whatever, right? And they believe everybody with high credit scores must know how to manage money well, and they must have money because they have a high credit score, which is not true at all. Credit is designed to keep you confused and in debt. That's why none of it makes any sense. Three different credit bureaus, three different scores, three different scoring ranges for each credit bureau. Did you know that? Did you know each credit bureau, Equifax, TransUnion, Experian, they all have their own credit score ranges. It's not all the same. Ain't that crazy? It's designed to keep you confused and in debt. This is what I do. I help you see things. I point out glitches in the debt matrix so you can see the glitches that are the things that don't make sense. Three different credit scores with from three different credit bureaus, and there's only one of you. That's 7 reasons why you should get out of that nonsense. It's nonsense if you're on the consumer side. But if you're on the business side, ooh, there's money to be made. There's plenty of money to be made. Millions, trillions. All you got to look up the national debt. It's in the trillions. That's a lot of people that don't care about being in debt. If you start to care and you want to come on this side, that's all the money that's available to you as long as you create something that's worth value to the people that want to stay there in debt. I'm not bad mouthing people that stay in debt, love credit, whatever, because it's all a choice. I'm not going to be mad at anybody who want to stay there. I chose not to stay there. But anyway, let's get on to the title of this video. You have a job that you hate, but you can't quit? Debt is keeping you there. That's why you can't quit. You trapped yourself. You're in debt. As soon as you think about quitting, what do you think about? Oh man, I got that car payment, I got some credit cards, I got my student loan payments, that's what's keeping you there. That's why you hate it. You probably like the job at one time, but then you start to outgrow everything. It's just life. Everything changes. As long as you understand that everything in life changes, and when you can't change with it, you start to resent it. So you might be at a job that you once loved, but you can't leave it now because you're in debt. All right, so I'm gonna give you a personal example of what I compared to when I was in debt versus now that I'm out of debt. I reflect and I want to share it with you guys. Okay, so for the last 20 years, I was a computer engineer. The cloud, all the cloud stuff. There's the cloud. Put the files in the cloud. I designed and created that type of stuff with a particular software called VMware. All right. And so I loved it. Don't get me wrong. I loved what I did. Loved it. Loved it. Till one day, I didn't. It was the weirdest thing. It was the weirdest thing. But when I didn't, it almost seemed like it came to after the effect when I got out of debt. It was weird. Things started opening up. My eyes started opening up. I started seeing things at work that I once didn't see before. It's weird, just like, for example, let me give you an example. Like I would have managers and we would have meetings, right? And then we would schedule meetings, and sometimes the managers just wouldn't even show up for the meetings. I'm there waiting. Oh, sorry, man, something else came up. You couldn't even let me know? You couldn't let me know. Today, if I was in a work environment and that happened, I would email my manager and my boss and say, "Hey, man, I was at this meeting. What happened? Oh, something came up. So you couldn't even notify me? You couldn't even tell me? Can you please not do that again?" I would say that. It's just business. Please don't do that. Because I took the time out of my day and time, whatever. I had to do whatever I had to do to be there. But we don't say anything because we're in debt and we're in fear of losing our job or getting a bad mark or whatever. But that example right there is nothing bad about that. You're saying, hey, person, respect my time. Take the time to say, hey, employee, sorry, I can't make it. And then send me an email. It's really that simple. I wouldn't care. Okay, something came up. Canceled. All right, cool. But that happened to me all the time. But anyway, the main one is this. I was for other computer engineers, I hope you're listening. And for the people that are not, this will still apply to you. All right. First, when I was at tier 3, tier 4 level, okay? So when things went down, when servers went down, thousands upon thousands of dollars would be lost if we don't get it back up. All right. It's that kind. Now, I love that type of environment because you must remain calm to fix it. You can't panic. There is no panicking it. And with computers, there's a path to go. One thing, first you must have connectivity, and then you must make sure you're on the right protocols, and all this pieces must be in place. So you just follow the steps. That's it. And one part, you're gonna find the step that's not working. All right. That's how it usually works. All right. Well, this particular job I signed up, I was aware that it was an on-call rotation. And what that is that every few months for a week, I could be called 24 hours a day during that week. And of course, that's why they partly pay for my cell phone. They partly pay for my cell phone. I thought, ooh, yeah, I only have to pay this much for my cell phone. But there's a reason why they were paying for my cell phone. So they could have 24-hour access to my life. But I didn't know that at the time. Why? Because I was in debt. I didn't want to rock the boat, even though I was giving away the time of my life. But anyway, I noticed that I was being called outside of the on-call rotation because I was really good at what I did. And I took pride in them calling me, but it started to be too much. I was getting calls all the time, middle of the night, weekends, events that I was planned. And I noticed myself tuned into my phone, every ding, particular sound for work email or work text. I would have it set, the sound set. So when I heard it, oh shit, I better pick it up. Why did I do that? I don't know. Just giving away the time of my life, right? And I remember waking up. I remember a few nights that I would get called in the middle of the night and getting woke up. And I would get up slowly and be like, this cannot be right. Something inside of me was saying it, but I couldn't put my finger on it. I just knew it wasn't right. You know what that was? I know what it is today. Because they should have hired somebody to cover those kind of problems, cover those kind of shifts. But they're a business. They're trying to get the most money. They're trying to get the most productivity with the less money. I get it. I totally get it. And by me accepting that, I was allowing it. Today, what I would do today, I would say, I would realize they were calling me all the time for a reason. Why? Because I was very good at what I did. That's why I was getting called. And so now, you know what I would do today? I would go in to the job and say, we need to renegotiate my salary. I want it doubled. If you still want to call me like that, I want you to double my salary. Double it or don't call me. Or double it and let them know I'm not going to be answering my phone. And you know what I would do today? I would get a totally separate phone for the business. So when I left, I would turn the phone off. And then think about it. They say, hey, man, we tried to call you last night. I'd be like, I know, I turned my phone off. So I turn it on at 8 o'clock in the morning when I walk in the job. That's when I turn it on. Think about it. What are they going to say? They can't say anything. How come you didn't answer your phone on your day off? Why you were off? Because when they called me anytime, the business was saying, we don't care what you're doing. We just want you to answer this phone because we got some problems here at the business. That's what they were saying. Indirectly, of course, right? And I was answering the phone and saying, hey, business, I accept that with you intruding in my life. I was accepting that. Sorry, guys. I got my notes here that I'm because I don't want to skip over certain things. Call and so once I realized after the fact, of course, I allowed that job to own me 24 hours a day for the salary I was getting paid, which I could have easily told them to double it easily. They were making billions. My little salary was ashtray money. Everything changes. Everything. One day, the job you love, one day you're going to wake up and you might not even like it anymore. You just might like, oh, I don't like doing this anymore. This is the point where you start to hate it when you can't leave. And you can't leave because you're in debt. You're thinking all these things, man, if I leave this job, I want to do something else, but I'm not going to be making the same amount of money that I'm making today. And if I do that, that means I can't have that car, I can't live where I live, I can't have these clothes, all this stuff. All this stuff starts to connect. And then you just say, screw it, I'm gonna just stay here. And then you go to work hating. You wake up hating going to this job, hating getting, and then you hate that you're in traffic getting to the job you hate. That this is it all connects. I want you guys to understand that this is all connect. For example, since I've been out here for 3 years now, right? And when I get frustrated on because it's all new to me, it's all new. I get frustrated. I at the it's not go, like if I get frustrated, it's not going the way I want it to go. You know what I would do? You know what I do? I wait till 5 o'clock afternoon traffic, and I go out and get out there in it on purpose. Now I know you're probably thinking, why would you do that? Why would you do that, Linnell? Because if I quit, this traffic that I'm sitting in, this is what I have for it. This is what I have to look forward to getting back into if I quit. I'm not going back to that. Traffic is an option. When I was in it, I thought there was nothing I could do about it. I thought I had to accept this traffic. I thought I had to accept these toll fees. I thought I had to accept these carpool lane fees, this fee, the waiting for the damn on-ramp light to change. It's like cows. Like I was a cow. Wait for this flash. I pull up to the on-ramp, that light, and you sit there. Moo. Moo. And then it turns to green, and then you can go, and then you just moo, and then you merge in with the rest of the cows, the rest of the herd. Everybody doing the exact same thing to you, and then as you go in there slow, everybody's moving 5 miles an hour, can't move anywhere. But yet nobody wants to let you in. It's like what? But they weren't mad at me. They were mad because they was there just like me and thinking they couldn't do anything about it. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You get out of debt. And it's only fifth grade math, people. Fifth grade math. When I became debt free, I want you guys to feel what I'm saying, okay? Once I became debt free, and I was still working of course I still work to pay off my debt, right? But once I was debt free, I still worked another year after I was debt free. That last year changed everything for me. Everything. I was looking at everything different. I remember we would go into meetings, right? And my coworkers would give me a list of things to ask the managerial staff about certain things because everybody else was nervous to rock the boat. They would give me the list. I would go into the meeting and I would read off the list. I would be like, "Hey man, didn't you sorry you guys. Let me get to this thing. I'm sorry. 1 second here. 1 second. They would give me the list of things to say in the meetings because I wasn't fearful of anything. I wasn't scared of anything. So I would read them off, and you could tell the managerial staff was shocked at the way I was asking these questions. But it wasn't rude. It was still professional. It wasn't rude. But I would ask them because all the coworkers would be scared to ask these questions, like things that the managerial staff might have promised, but never said anything. Nothing came about it. Nobody knew anything. What happened to that? When we were supposed to get that? Yeah, what happened? I don't know. Everybody was scared to ask. I would ask them. Hey, I would ask in the meeting. I would like, hey, you guys promised X, Y, Z. How come we don't? Where is it at? How come we don't? What's the deadline date? What's going on? I would enjoy it, and then it would point. Things would come out to uh, like it's weird. It's when you're in the workplace, you have this certain little kind of fear of bosses or managers or whatever. When you really don't need to have that because it's a professional setting. When you get anxious about a boss or his attitude coming in, those are feelings that has nothing to do with business. If a boss or a manager came, if I was at a job and a boss came in with a attitude or something, and he took it out on me, I would say, hey, can we step in the room for a second? I want to talk to you about something. I say, hey man, don't talk to me like that at work. I would say that. The manager, they don't have any right to bring their problems into work and then take it out on you. You allow that. When you don't have any debt, you don't allow that. You say, don't talk to me like that. You don't say it exactly like that, but you make sure it's clear in the meeting. Set up a meeting. Just talk, hey, I don't like the way you're talking to me. Don't do that. Doesn't that sound crazy? It's true. I did it. I did it. The reason why you hate your job because you can't leave, and you can't leave because of you. You are keeping yourself there. I promise you. I promise you. I kept myself there. It was me. Once I got out of debt, I quit. I was making over $100,000 a year. People were saying, Linnell, are you crazy? Mostly people in the debt matrix talk like that because they believe six figures is a lot of money. That's a program. I want you guys to understand. It's a program to think six figures is a lot of money. When you see Microsoft, Elon Musk, Tesla, Amazon, they're making billions. And you believe six figures is a lot of money. It's not. And people always talk about six figures without including the taxes. Why people do that, I don't know. People blurt out their salaries, right? Like they don't have to pay taxes. That's the weirdest thing. What are you doing? Tax evasion is illegal last time I checked. I hope this helps some of you guys by sharing my personal experience with you to help you understand that you free yourself. You free yourself. There is nothing like this type of freedom that I'm expressing to you guys. Nothing. If you've never been debt free and you don't believe you can ever be debt free, if you believe that you'll never, let's say like this, for example, if you believe you will never pay off your student loan, if you truly in your heart believe that, you'll never be able to feel what I'm telling you. You'll never understand it. You'll never understand it, ever. Ever. Imagine right now, imagine this. Just get a brief moment. What if somebody walked into your life right now and paid off every debt you owed on earth? Every single one. Every one. All your debts are paid. Now feel that real quick. That's what I feel every single day when I wake up. Bills and debt, they're not even on my mind. Why? They don't exist. I will not fit back into the regular working world. I know I won't. I know I won't. You know why? Because most people are in debt and they're forced to be there. So they react, they respond, they do certain things according to the job. I would not fit. because businesses are so used to people in debt, they can treat them a certain way. If I came into the working world, I wouldn't allow them to treat me that way, and they would think I'm weird. Hey, wow, you're not a team player, because they always try to say, hey, be a team player, use all the time in your life. They don't say it like that, but they say, they push this team player stuff. I would go against this so I wouldn't seem like I'm a team player. When I'm just a regular worker, they would be like, hey, man, are you doing the best you can do on your job for the 8 hours? Yep, sure am. But when I leave, I'm gone. It stays there. It doesn't follow me. Get it? I hope this reaches somebody. And if you need help, I will help you be free for only $99. For the first $99, let's say it like that. Because my clients that I've helped started, I can't just, when I first started, I would create them a plan and say, you're on your own, see you later, and it takes more than that. So now I have plans that I follow. I have a one-on-one session every month so they can tell me how it's going, the roadblocks they're running into, everything that I can help them get over, because I already been there and done that. I can help them jump over this hurdle that they believe it's a hurdle. Once they're over it, they're like, oh, that wasn't really nothing. I know it just seems like that when you're in debt. You can reach me at deadaintmydaddy@gmail.com, schedule an appointment. I like to talk to the people, talk to future clients for the first 15, 20 minutes or so, kind of get an idea of where you're at, what you're feeling, it's because everybody's financial situation is different. So I must talk to them. There's no one standard that fits everybody. I have to see where you're at emotionally, because debt will wreak havoc on your emotions, right? And it really doesn't have anything to do with emotions, but when you're in it, you can't tell that it doesn't have anything to do with it, right? It's like 1 + 1 = 2. But if I said, man, I really feel like 1 + 1 should equal 3, I really feel like that. It would really warm my heart if 1 + 1 would equal 3. You would look at me like I'm crazy. You're like, why are you putting your feelings in it? It doesn't matter. 1 + 1 is going to always equal 2. That's the same thing when it comes to debt. If you come up short on money for Christmas presents, yeah, you start to feel bad about, oh, my kids, they're going to not have a wonderful Christmas and all this other stuff. I mean, that's a natural feeling. Usually people do is go out, grab the credit cards and swipe and say, I'll pay it later. That's a feeling. Just because you feel bad about not saving up money for Christmas, it doesn't change the fact that you don't have money in the bank account for Christmas. You got to admit to yourself, I don't have the money, and figure out why you don't have the money. I know I'm a little bit off, but I want to tell you something. Life is really not that expensive. It just seems that way when you're in debt. I promise you. Now that I'm out of debt, life is not that expensive at all. It just seems that way. I promise you. All right, you guys have a wonderful day. I'm trying to keep it at 20 minutes, but you know me, if you guys follow me, I can go on this for an hour easily. I want to interact with people more to kind of get an idea of what they want to hear from me, what you want to know. If I can get people, I want this to be a place where you guys can come, right? And you can feel comfortable talking about money, talking about your money, talking about things that you're scared to talk about with others out in the open, because it looks like everybody else has their money situations together because you see their stuff, right? So you figure they must know how to manage money, and you're the only one that don't, right? When you can just actually look at Google national debt, car loan debt, student loan debt, credit card debt, and clearly see that you're not alone. I'm telling you, this is hindering you in your personal life, your work life. Your whole life will change. My life has changed forever. I'm terrified, absolutely terrified, to ever think about going back into a cubicle for 8 to 10 hours a day, going into work as the sun comes up, barely comes up, and leaving work after the sun's gone down. No sun at all? No, thank you. You guys have a wonderful